1. Chapter 1. Law's Roots. Step on a bus. The law is there. You have almost certainly entered into a contract to pay the fare to your destination. Alight before you have paid, and the long arm of the criminal law may be expected to pursue you. The bus is involved in an accident. The law is ready to determine who is responsible for the injury you sustained. Your job, your home, your relationships, your very life, and your death, all, and more, are managed, controlled, and directed by the law. The legal system lies at the heart of any society, protecting rights, imposing duties, and establishing a framework for the conduct of almost every social, political, and economic activity. Punishing offenders, compensating the injured, and enforcing agreements are merely some of the tasks of a modern legal system. In addition, it endeavors to achieve justice, promote freedom, uphold the rule of law, and protect security. To the layman, however, the law often seems a highly technical, bewildering mystery, with its antiquated and sometimes impenetrable jargon, obsolete procedures, and interminable stream of Byzantine statutes, subordinate legislation, and judgments of the courts. Lawyers tend to look backwards. The doctrine of precedent, hallmark of the common law, dictates that what has gone before is what now should be, thereby affording a measure of certainty and predictability in a precarious world. 2. Law. But the law does not stand still. Globalization, rapid advances in technology, and the growth of administrative regulation place increasing strain on the law. Domestic legal systems are expected to respond to, and even anticipate, these changes, while many look to international law to settle disputes between states, punish malevolent dictators, and create a better world. These are among the numerous challenges to which contemporary legal systems are meant to rise. The law is rarely uncontroversial. While lawyers and politicians habitually venerate its merits, reformers bewail its inadequacies, and skeptics refute the law's often self-righteous espousal of justice, liberty, and the rule of law. Few, however, would deny that, in most societies, law has become a significant instrument for progress and improvement in our social, political, moral, and economic life. Think of the transformation that legal rules have wrought in respect of numerous aspects of our lives that were once considered personal: the promotion of sexual and racial equality, safety at work and play, healthier food, candor in commerce, and a host of other admirable aspirations. Laws to protect human rights, the environment, and our personal security have mushroomed. Nothing seems beyond the reach of the long arm of the law. This boom in the lawmaking business renders it impractical both for citizens to become acquainted with its myriad rules and for the authorities to enforce them. The law is news. Murders, mergers, marriages, misfortunes, and mendacity are daily media fodder, especially when the misbehavior is played out in court. Sensationalist trials concerning celebrities are, alas, only the small tip of a large iceberg. Lawsuits are a negligible part of the law, as will become evident in the following chapters. But what is law? In very broad terms, two principal answers have been given to this deceptively simple question. On the one hand is the view that law consists of a set of universal moral principles in 3. Law's roots. Accordance with nature. This view, adopted by so-called natural lawyers, has a long history dating back to ancient Greece. For so-called legal positivists, on the other hand, law is nothing more than a collection of valid rules, commands, or norms that may lack any moral content. Others perceive the law as fundamentally a vehicle for the protection of individual rights, the attainment of justice, or economic, political, and sexual equality. Few believe that the law can be divorced from its social context. The social, political, moral, and economic dimensions of the law are essential to a proper understanding of its workaday operation. This is especially true in times of change. It is important to recognize the fragility of formalism. We skate on dangerously thin ice when we neglect the contingent nature of the law and its values. Reflection upon the nature of law may sometimes seem disconcertingly abstruse. More than occasionally, however, it reveals important insights into who we are and what we do. The nature and consequences of these different positions should become apparent before long. The genesis of law. Despite the importance of law in society, its manifestation in the form of general codes phi rst appears only around 3000 BC. Prior to the advent of writing, laws exist only in the form of custom. And the absence of written law retards the capacity of these rules to provide lasting or extensive application. Among the phi rst written codes is that of Hammurabi, king and creator of the Babylonian Empire. It appeared in about 1760 BC, and is one of the earliest instances of a ruler proclaiming a systematic corpus of law to his people so that they are able to know their rights and duties. Engraved on a black stone slab that may be seen in the Louvre in Paris, the code contains some 300 sections with rules relating to a broad array of activities ranging from the punishment that is to be inflicted on a false witness, death, to that to be meted out to a builder whose house collapses. 1. The Code of Hammurabi, created by the king of Babylon in about 1760 BC, is among the earliest extant collection of laws. It is a well-preserved diorite stele setting out 282 laws, providing a fascinating insight into social life under his rule. 5. Law's roots. Killing the owner, death. The code is almost entirely devoid of defenses or excuses, a very early example of strict liability. The king was, in fact, acknowledging the existence of even earlier laws, of which we have only the barest of evidence, which his code implies. In truth, therefore, the code echoes customs that preceded the reign of this ancient monarch. A more striking example of early lawmaking may be found in the laws of the Athenian statesman Solon in the 6th century BC. Regarded by the ancient Greeks as one of the 7 wise men, he was granted the authority to legislate to assist Athens in overcoming its social and economic crisis. His laws were extensive, including significant reforms to the economy, politics, marriage, and crime and punishment. He divided Athenian society into 5 VE classes based on financial standing. One's obligations, including tax liability, depended on one's class. He cancelled debts for which the peasants had pledged their land or their bodies, thereby terminating the institution of serfdom. To resolve disputes between higher and lower rank citizens, the Romans, in about 450 BC, issued, in tablet form, a compilation of laws known as the 12 Tables. A commission of 10 men, decemviri, was appointed in about 455 BC to draft a code of law binding on all Romans, the privileged class, the patricians, and the common people, the plebeians, which the magistrates, 2 consuls, were required to enforce. The result was a compilation of numerous statutes, most derived from prevailing custom, that phi led 10 bronze tablets. The plebeians were unimpressed with the result, and a second commission of 10 was appointed in 450 BC. It added another 2 tablets. During the period of the so-called classical jurists, between the 1st century BC and the middle of the 3rd century AD, Roman law achieved a condition of considerable sophistication. Indeed, so prolific were these jurists, Gaues, Ulpian, Papinian, Paul, and 2. The Byzantine Roman Emperor Justinian, depicted here in one of the striking mosaics in the Basilica of San Vitale in Ravenna, oversaw the revision and codification of Roman law into the Corpus Juris Civilis, consisting of the Digest, or Pandex, the Institutes, the Codex, and the Novelli.